What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Dueling Fates podcast. Wrong podcast, I was about to say. Where I piss off Geek by trying to accommodate his schedule, and this is the one day where his schedule just didn't want to accommodate to his normal schedule.
True, dude. Yesterday I was so dead. I don't know why. Okay, I do know why, because the previous 2 days I had gotten a total, like, today's Sunday, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night combined, I got 5 hours of sleep. So yesterday I went to the game and then got home and streamed for 2 hours and was sitting here trying not to pass out. I was like, oh, I'm dying. And then I went, made food, tried to start watching Dead Man's Chest.
Which is what we're covering today.
Couldn't keep myself awake.
Nice.
Went to bed. Thought I woke up way too late. I thought I was screwed. Turns out I woke up at 3 in the morning, which sucks. Because that means, again, I only got like 3 hours of sleep. Everything sucks all the time.
You know, it doesn't suck.
I don't know. This movie kind of sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
This movie does not suck.
Definition of suck.
I mean, tentacles are in this movie, so I guess, you know.
Lots.
Yeah. Yeah, so today we're just covering Dead Man's Chest, the sequel to Curse the Black Pearl. Geek, how'd you feel about this movie? Not what you feel about this movie.
What did I feel about this movie? I don't know. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for my opinion on this movie. I still think it's really good, but I think it's the worst of the 3 of the Pirates trilogy. I think I'm also gonna get hate for which one I think is the best, but that's okay.
No fucking way.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. I don't know. It's a good movie, but like, as with the other 2, I don't really have any complaints, other than, good God, all of them are long.
Yeah, I didn't realize that when we scheduled this for the summer, early summer.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe Grayson's brain just works different than mine. Maybe I'm the weirdo. But I can't just, if it's a 3-hour movie, no matter how good it is, it still feels like 3 hours.
So my time blindness must just be like, if I'm having fun, instant. It goes by super fast. I don't even recognize it. If I'm not having fun, then I just slow down to a slug. You know, that's supposed to be how my time blindness just affects me.
Trying to think, like, I know I can get that way with like video games sometimes, but it's super rare where it's just like, be playing a game and then look over and it's like, holy fuck, I've been here 12 hours. How did this happen? But it doesn't happen often.
I think the big difference between me and you is like we had the same interests, but they're flip-flopped. Like, you have a higher interest in gaming than I do, and I have a higher interest in film than you do.
Very much.
But we both had the same interests. It's just two sides of the same coin, you know?
Yeah. So I guess that's also, I don't know, maybe it's because video games actively have me involved in some way.
Yeah, I like to sit back in my brain, be kind of like, be a passenger for a minute.
No, my brain just takes over. You know how many times during this podcast there have been movies where I get more than halfway through them and I have to restart because I realize I have no clue what was happening? My brain just goes, no. We're just going to think about something else the entire time. It happened the first time I tried to watch the first Pirates movie, actually. I got halfway through and I was like, dude, what is happening right now? How did we get here?
There's points in this movie where I feel like that, but also I think it's because the sound mixing and streaming, because I was streaming this because I was just simpler to do. Because these 2 love to sit upstairs. This is the only thing they do down here. Everything else they do, upstairs. They just sleep down here. But those 2 really wanted to be upstairs. So I'm like, okay, I guess we'll just sit upstairs and stream was just easier up there. So Um, and streaming mixing like the audio is really hard to hear things because they make things just for the theater and they never adjust the audio.
Yeah.
So it's like why I think it's why a lot of Gen Z uses subtitles nowadays because it's so hard to fucking hear. Uh,
That
but like
I
catch
can
up.
have mine set up to be fine. I just never do because I'm lazy. So my
Sounds like
sound bar and sub can turn into like full surround sound. I just have to like disconnect things from my sound bar and go place them. I just like refuse because I can't just leave them there because one day I have to charge them and that's annoying.
I'm so jealous. I want a surround sound like that, man, one day.
They're ridiculous.
Probably. And that's okay.
It's actually just cheaper to do surround sound.
Dude,
The issue is I just didn't know what
dreams-
apartment I was going to have, so I didn't know if I could. So it's like just the sound bar because then it can just sit there. And then if I have space, I can put the thing.
Fair.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I like, one of the big compliments to this movie I have is that it's a dark film, but guess what, geek? I can see shit.
So we didn't get season 8 of Game of Thrones. You don't get that reference, but that's
We
the
didn't get Deathly
worst
Hallows
offender.
Part 2.
The what?
Deathly Hallows Part 2, where it's just
Oh.
fucking black half the movie.
So I watched that on my phone, so it was much less bad, maybe. Because I think it'll be less of a problem. I guess one day I have to rewatch those movies now that I have my good TV. But I think that is a major issue, is like for a lot of movies and just stuff nowadays. I know the Game of Thrones episode still sucks for these reasons, like for being too dark. But like a lot of movies are way too dark, and when your TV either doesn't have good brightness or good contrast, you're just screwed.
Yeah.
You're just screwed and you see nothing. I'm so impressed by the CGI in this movie. Like when we went back and watched Star Wars, in my head I was like, oh, Star Wars' CGI was really good. And then we rewatched it and it's like, oh no, honey, no. This movie, it's still really good. It's so much better than the first Pirates movie, and I don't really know why. It's not that much of a time difference between the two.
Yes, it is. 3 years is a long time.
It's not that long.
It is when, Revenge of the Sith came out the previous year, and that's the best looking Star Wars film, so.
Well, of that era, yes.
Well,
The
yeah,
Last
I'm
Jedi's not
comparing
here.
it to a similar area of time.
But like, but again, look at Revenge and Attack of the Clones. They're 3 years apart. They look exactly the fucking same.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I just watched Revenge of the
They
Sith.
have the
in
exact
theaters.
same issues. Just because you watched it in theaters doesn't mean you were critically looking at the CGI like, oh man, that sucks.
Dude, I was just sitting there like, God, yes.
Right?
No, but like, yeah, the CGI in this is a lot better. I also think it's also because it's a lot different than just bone. It's, you have all these bits and pieces of like, you have tentacles, you have like seaweed and coral, and there's all these things mixed with like the water and the rain. It's showing off for you. And while bone is like cool to see back in 2003, it's very simple compared to what they're doing in this movie.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how they make Davy Jones look so gross, but they do.
His tentacles for normal
He's
people.
so slimy.
Well, yeah, octopuses are slimy. Octopi are slimy.
I don't know. I've never seen an octopi out of water.
You've never gone to like have seafood?
I don't. I'm not eating an octopus, man. That's fucking weird.
It's like a normal thing to eat.
Don't
Like,
care. Not doing it.
Like you just oppose the tentacles at all. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
There are other countries where horses are a normal thing to eat, and I'm saying not onto that too. I'm good.
We make glue from horses, so.
Well, Grayson, unlike you, I didn't eat glue when I was in school, man.
It was delicious.
I'm sorry, you set me up for that one. I had to.
I know.
I had to.
No, the CGI is really good in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to like get over like the fact that you think this is the worst of the trilogy. I know we're gonna talk about the third one next week, but still, like, what's the problem?
I don't know. This is just the one where I was the most bored. I don't know. I don't know why, but I was.
Hmm.
I have
You
no
not you
I
didn't
have
like
no
the
extra
whole.
like info. And again, they're all really good. Like this is one of the only no. This and what? Lord of the Rings are the only
I've
trilogies
watched
I
all
can
of them.
think of that are actually like good the whole way through.
Mhm.
There's no the the meme with the horse.
Well, yeah, and I've always had the opinion that every trilogy has a weak link.
I don't
It's
really think this one does, and I don't think Lord of the Rings
no,
does either.
I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
We gotta rectify that. I almost said
I've
retcon
been
that.
trying to make that a thing. You're like, no, no, no.
Well, I
I was
think we
like,
are now. Oh wait, we might not be.
I'm not.
I don't know. We don't have a plan. We just have a plan.
We have a plan that is always moving.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 weeks from now we were supposed to be doing Justice League, and now we're not watching that at all. So who fucking knows?
um, yeah, like there's always like one that takes a step down, and like this trilogy. Again, I know we're talking in general. We're talking about the second film right now, but doesn't really have that step down entirely. So, um, I just I don't know how you see this the weakest. There's like the awesome indigenous people segment where they're on the island and it's a whole bunch of hijinks and it's a lot of fucking fun to watch that and it really shows the like it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like this weird like world they live in where it's like it's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. They do a lot of insane shit that shouldn't be humanly possible, but they somehow make it possible without CGI. Like those balls of bone, they shouldn't exist in the way they do, and they still do those mostly practically, I
I was gonna say
believe.
you can absolutely make those.
Well, I don't kill people, geek.
Walked into that one. Really, that was this one. Yeah, yeah, right. I
They
don't
mesh
know.
together for me too as well, but they're kind of supposed
No,
to. Like,
the I was thinking. I really walked into what that one, like when Jack's running in the little.
yeah,
I think that's this one, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Because I watched them both back to back, they just kind
Mhm.
of are one thing in my brain right now.
Yeah.
But when he's running in the thing and looks up and the bar is coming at him and he just whack. That's how I ran into
um,
that one. Tough.
yeah, like that whole like starting segment, I think is iconic. It's when I think about Pirates of the Caribbean, it's like the one thing that sticks out to me. That and then later in this movie is the big hydro wheel thing. I don't know what it's fucking called. Where they're fighting on top of it. Where it's Norrington, Will, and Jack all like having separate things happening all at the same time, but they're easy to track and they're all going after the same thing. So it's like this cool like combining of ideals. I don't know.
All the moments I think of from this entire trilogy are from the next movie. So maybe that's part of it.
What the fuck?
How are you saying what the fuck?
Because I didn't remember the third movie
Other
at
than
all.
like the only scene from this movie that I constantly remember is like the end
Really?
when Jack's staring down the Kraken and then just
This
yeets
is the
himself
most
in there.
memorable movie of the trilogy, from my opinion.
Weird. I don't know, man.
Well, first of all, you have the Kraken, which is fucking dope as hell. But also, I'm a huge kaiju fan. We know this,
Yeah.
so that's kind of like
Dude,
a
it's
given.
just a
But
squid. It's just a squid.
and Mothra's just a giant moth. Like what?
So they're shitty kaiju. I'm just saying.
Kaiju are cool no matter what. Okay, fuck you.
Disagree.
But also, this is a kaiju that's controlled by one man and one man alone, which also is a very like dope thing to watch. Is that a cup with mercury in it?
No, this is one of the new ones. They came out
You
like
sure?
I mean, I guess the Mercury's in the paint. Just don't, lick the paint. It's way down there. I thought you were more going to question the drinking chocolate milk out of a McDonald's cup at 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon.
No, I don't. I really don't have a question. Like, you can drink what the fuck you want. I really don't give a shit. Half the time I like, if I had it, I would be drinking like a beer. But
you should get some help for that.
Not for because I want to get. I'm not an alcoholic. I haven't drank in 3 months.
I'm not an alcoholic. I just would always only drink beer if I had beer.
What the reason why I would drink Beer Geek? Well, also because it's rum. I'd probably be drinking rum right now because we're
just like Jack Sparrow. You're not an alcoholic. Sure, shut up.
But I haven't drank in 3 months. But also it loosens me up, so I'm easier to talk to.
No.
Yes, Geek.
It makes you dumber. That makes you harder to talk to.
It makes me dumber, and I get a lot more talkative. So
that's so much worse in every way.
Yeah, buddy.
Man, I'm still not over D&D. I can't lie.
I know you're not. And I have a feeling that Miller's gonna kill my wife.
No. If anyone's doing that, it won't be Miller. I can't kill you. He said nothing about your family.
Anyway.
Sorry.
I don't know. I think the action scenes in this movie are excellent. I think they're awesome to watch because there's so many moving pieces. At the same time, it's very easy to keep track of, which is, I think, a good signal of great, choreography and a great, storytelling because they're telling the story as well through the action. The one thing I don't like about this movie is that they try to make Elizabeth and Jack a thing.
No. They don't.
They do, because the compass that when Elizabeth is holding it is always pointing to Jack.
Yeah, they did that for idiots like you who are dumb enough to think that. They were never trying to make that a thing. That's not what that was. That was all of the fans who initially wanted that to be a thing. They were making fun of them. And they're making fun of you for being dumb enough to fall for it.
No, because that's what they're doing.
No, the entire setup was that she would betray Jack. That was the entire point.
It points to her desire. If you point to Will, if that was her true desire.
No, it was the thing she wanted most, which at that moment, which isn't always your true desire. And in that moment, she needed Jack because Jack needed to do the thing so that Will could exist. That's the thing. It's always the thing. The compass is not this simple tool of it just points to the thing you want the most. It's tricky. And that's why it doesn't ever work for Jack, because he doesn't fucking know what he wants. Except for at the end of the very next movie when it points to the fucking rum. That is the only time the compass is ever right. And simple and true. But it's never that simple. The entire point was to get you to believe that. So you'd believe the end of the movie. You'd feel like she betrayed Will. And then you'd get the shock value of she betrayed Jack.
I never felt that she betrayed Will in any part of this. I thought it was just dumb that they were trying to make this.
Well, Will certainly feels like she'll betray him. Because every time she even pretends to, he gets butt hurt. Every time. It happens so many times. At some point, you got to just be like, there's a plan.
Well,
when they say she's just like Jack, and he acknowledges that she's just like Jack, he should realize, hey, she's probably doing that thing that Jack does. I guess he still never gets it with Jack either. He just does things, and then it's way later, and he's like, oh, he fucking did have a plan. Shit. It is insane how, in this world, Jack is by far the smartest person there, and everyone thinks he's a fucking moron. It's insane.
What, is he the smartest person in the world? Because again, they proposed the question in the next movie. Does he have a plan in the beginning, or is he just saying, or making it up as he goes, Well, and honestly, I think he's making it up as he goes.
No, because he lays out the plan and then follows through with it. Every
And
time.
half the time he looks into following the plan on accident after he fucks it up initially.
Well, at least he told you the plan and still finishes it. It doesn't matter how you get there. But he had a plan. Therefore, smartest man.
No, it's...
And if you can always make it work, that's not luck. That's just good planning.
He does the first part of the plan, fucks it up, and somehow ends at the last part of the plan. That's all it is. He's got the biggest plot armor in the world.
No.
Yes.
No, that's gotta be Will Turner. Starting from the beginning of this shit, he gets discovered on a piece of driftwood. I promise he's not the only guy alive from that shipwreck. I guarantee it. I stand by it. Yet, he's the only one they find.
Not.
But he's the only one they find.
Because all the rest are alluded to be on Davy Jones' ship.
Right. That means they died. You dumb motherfucker.
No, they
so
don't
Will's the
die.
only one who doesn't die. Yeah, they don't die. They just sell their souls and give their entire life up to Davy Jones, which is dying. It's actually worse than death by every definition. Yes, that is worse than death by every definition.
Capitalism.
But you see, he's the only one that lives through that. Then he should just die. He's not good at anything.
I did realize watching this movie, bro pinballs from fucking ship to ship all the fucking time, bro.
Yeah, and spends all that time like in the open ocean. He would die. He's got the plot armor. Jack literally dies in this movie. There's no plot armor. He just dies.
No, really, he gets locked away.
No, he dies.
We're meant to think he dies.
No, he's dead.
I guess they do.
That is
in the next movie.
He's literally dead. Not kind of. They say it in this movie. They all agree he's dead. Because then literally the end of this movie is the how do we get him back? And then Barbossa shows up and you're like, huh? And then you're just stuck living with that for a year of, God, I'm glad I don't remember being alive when these movies came out.
I was 4.
I was 7. 6 for this one.
Bro, how was the dinosaurs?
Fuck you.
I'm okay.
No. What else happened? I don't know. I am trying to think of what my other things. I love watching the Kraken steal the ships in this movie. It's so good. I don't know, but there's something satisfying about the way the ships crunch and just disappear.
Like the wood crunching, or that they capsize inwards?
Both.
Instead, you know?
Both.
Okay.
Both parts of those are great. Or both parts of that are great.
I was just curious why.
Well, I don't know.
Or...
I don't know. I always root for the giant evil monster, I guess. I don't know.
We should watch Godzilla then. Goddamn, bro.
No. Because I have to root against Godzilla.
No,
and
Godzilla half the time is a bad guy.
No, I have to root against him. Because you like Godzilla. So.
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's something you like. I don't want to.
This man.
Man, I just had to watch fucking 9 hours of Pirates of the Caribbean in the last month. Chill out.
We could have spaced this out better and you would have bitched less.
True. Again, this actually has nothing to do with watching Pirates. It's just right before Pirates and the entire time since we've started watching them, he was complaining about us possibly watching Pearl Harbor because it's so long. And then he plans 3 of the 5 longest movies we've watched back to back to back.
Yeah, actually next week we're watching Oppenheimer.
Okay, I'd be so down though. I love that movie.
It's a great movie. 3 hours and 2 minutes long.
Okay. I'm not the one who has a problem with. I'm not the one with the problem with long movies. That's you. You're the little bitch.
I think the long movies are great when they don't make me bored.
I don't trust the opinions of 15-year-old you. I don't really trust the opinions of current you.
13-year-old me made the Empire opinion and then never went back to it. Okay, that's a different story.
I'm just saying, I don't trust the opinions of younger and dumber Grayson.
Fuck you.
No.
Oh, this
Also,
movie
oh yeah, go ahead.
has a super memorable part that you're completely forgetting. He's got a jar of dirt.
Yeah, I don't really forget about that. It's just that's not memorable because of the movie. It's memorable because it's become a meme. And I don't even think of it in the context of the movie. I don't even think of it on its own. I think of that stupid video where it's all the I got like stuff combined together. So it's, I've got crippling depression. I've got something. I've got a jar of dirt. I've got osteoporosis. Like, that's what I think of when I think of the stupid jar of dirt scene. No, the better part of this movie is the re-reference to you were actually telling the truth. I do that quite a lot, yet people are always surprised. It's so good. Name one time Jack Sparrow lies.
So the thing about Jack Sparrow is that he tells the truth, but in the most roundabout way.
No, it's just the real way. It's just the way.
It's the truth the way a lawyer does it, where it's like, I'm telling you the answer, but I'm gonna not give you any of the details. I will pay my debt just by giving you 99 souls instead.
I don't see a problem here.
Sacrificing 99 people
I hate
for one person.
So it is this movie, and I hate what they've cut from it. We talked about this scene.
Next movie.
No, it had to have been this one.
Nope, next one.
That makes no sense.
Because he doesn't talk to that guy until the third movie. Because they butter a deal in the third movie.
You're right. But it had to be from this one.
You can tell we watched this movie back to back and are trying to figure out which movie
but it
which.
had to be this one in my brain because I guess it still works for the next movie. But the added context of that and knowing that he was supposed to be transporting people and that the 100 souls, why is Jack's soul worth that much, is because of that. Because he saved all of those people, so his soul is worth all of those souls. It adds a layer that gets taken away by that scene not existing. If you've seen the scene after the movies, it adds that context and makes it matter more. But a lot of people aren't going to have seen that deleted scene, even now that it exists on the internet.
Yeah, but also there's context around the reason why Jack's soul might be worth more is because A, he's fucking Jack Sparrow and has plot armor up the ass.
Not even the most on his ship.
Off every single person on the fucking planet, seemingly, or on the seas at least. Because apparently he's in debt to also the Singaporean pirates.
Well, yeah.
Spoiler for the next movie. And that's what I'm saying. He just is in debt to everyone.
He's a pirate.
Yeah,
literally, his job definition is thieving. That's it. That's what pirates do. They thieve.
Thieving and debt are two different things.
Well, if I steal from you and you find out, I will assume you think I owe you money. That is how that would work. Logic brain.
No.
Yes.
That's not how that works. That is, I agreed to something and now I have.
Yeah, but
I need to pay it back.
Now you're playing semantics for the pirates. I promise that's not what Jack did.
No,
I promise he just robbed them.
That's the definition of debt. I have agreed to pay this money back at some point in time.
Not really. You can think I'm in debt to you, and I can not think that. Not because we made an agreement. You can just think that because you gave me money or I stole from you, and you can think I owe you. Therefore, I owe you a debt. And if I'm somebody who steals from everybody, anybody who I know finds out that I stole from, I will just assume they think I owe them a debt.
In this way, where he's agreed to Davy Jones to spend that.
Well, in that one, yes,
years,
that's a debt.
That's a debt that he is agreed to
that's
pay.
a debt by your definition. Words are made up. And you can
Because
add definitions to them all the time. We literally
because use the worst excuse to get out of the argument of
no,
words
because
are made
think
up.
about it.
Words are made up.
Think about it. Constantly, we use words now that had a different meaning before. You can change the way you want the words to mean, and by definition, Jack does with the word debt. Because he just does. Because that is the only way to make that make sense. The only way in the universe is to just agree that he just thinks it means anybody he's like robbed from that found out that he's the one who stole from them.
Which everyone does because he's not subtle about it.
No. That is my favorite thing when he's in. Oh, I shouldn't say that. What is the lady's name that gives him the jar of dirt? I shouldn't give the spoilery name.
But no, I don't remember her name off rip. But I think she's in the bayou in Louisiana. Cause it's the Caribbean,
right?
You know, they connect. So, what is her name?
Which has it much as it does make sense. It also, I swear, England could not have had that many ships in the Caribbean.
Definitely in the 1600s. Yeah.
Not that many ships.
Not you're talking about a different movie.
No, I just mean in general. Also, I guarantee they're like England's 3 fastest ships wouldn't all be in the same place. That's stupid. That's just asking to end your fleet.
Her name is Tia. I should probably figure out where she was.
Right. So when he's robbing Tia, while she's talking, he's just looking at her, and then like she looks away, and he just yoink.
He's a voodoo priestess. So, at the mouth of just tell me.
Just tell me.
In Cuba.
Oh, okay. Look at that. Grayson was wrong again. Let's go.
Well, when I think voodoo, I think of like the bayou. I'm sorry that I generalized an area of the world.
Incredible. I find it insane. Was there a script for this movie ever? For any of the Pirates movies? Because every time you read the trivia, it's just, oh yes, every iconic moment was just Johnny Depp going off script and just doing shit.
I'm sorry, but every trivia for the Marvel movies is they improvise this, they improvise that.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of
you know what's improvised in the Marvel movies? It's never full lines and scenes. It's Tony Stark always having snacks, and that's just because Robert Downey Jr. kept hiding shit and then picking it up after. That's not the same thing as every iconic line and moment completely being improvised. I Am Iron Man was not improvised.
Actually, it was. Yeah, it wasn't improvised. It was written down.
Right.
Whatever.
What I'm saying is like every right. Well, yes. But every iconic moment in these movies, I swear to God, is unscripted. And it, like, when Jack Sparrow calls Davy Jones fish face and then sings I've got a job, Dad, I've got a job. None of that was scripted. None of that was how that was supposed to go. This is why I don't think anyone other than Johnny Depp could have been Jack Sparrow, because if we actually got what was scripted out, these movies probably fucking suck.
Well, I'm guessing that there was like a line that was there originally, and then he's just that, you know what, this doesn't really fit Jack as I've envisioned him, so I'm gonna change it entirely.
Jesus.
What?
Gore Verbinski wanted Davy Jones to be Dutch because he's the captain of the Flying Dutchman.
I'm glad that changed.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I wouldn't be able to understand him at all.
What the fuck?
Also,
apparently Gore Verbinski like sucks. It
as a person?
I can't. No, just as I'm reading things, he's just dumb every time. The wanting him to be Dutch, he rejected the suggestion to cast Naomi Harris as Tia originally, saying she was too young for the role.
Oh my god, it's great what you can do with makeup, which is like what this is known for is makeup and
I
CGI.
was gonna say I have no clue how old any of these people are supposed to be. Not a one.
I mean, you can kind of guess how old Elizabeth and um
Maybe
Emily
not.
are. Well, currently not Tia Harris. Naomi Harris is 48, so this is 20 years ago ish. So she was 28, 26.
Yeah, I don't know.
You do know though, math it does exist.
Well, that's not what I was saying. I don't know. I don't know. The Liar's Dice game confuses
That's
me.
also that pissed me off too, because instead of, it's like when his dad walks up to him, he's like, "Do you know how it's played?" He goes, "I understand it." We don't.
Right. Well, you pick
Maybe
it up
explain to us.
you pick it up later, but it still doesn't make sense. So the
No,
entire
it's
point
like-
of the game, why do you ever even look at the dice? Like each
To see
person's
if, like-
looking at their own cup of dice. Who fucking cares?
You can mathematically
Just
fish it out.
Bet whatever you want. And then just
That's true.
call the other person a liar and you're guaranteed the win. They're never going to be right.
Fair.
One person was right.
White.
One.
Wow, wow, geek. One of them actually was green. So fuck you.
Wait, yes, this technically references only one of them being right. Fuck.
They're green, geek. One of them was green.
No, only one of them was white and everybody else was fishmen.
No, fucking Scar was he's still white. He's got a starfish in his face.
Yes, that's the one white one.
Is Orlando Bloom not white?
I don't know.
I swear to God that man is white. But alright.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
looking it up. I'm looking it up.
All right. But yeah, I don't know. The entire thing was just stupid.
Yeah, he's British.
Oh, okay.
He's the whitest of
Okay.
white.
True.
No.
Jesus.
The lighter slice pisses me off because instead of adding in the script a small explanation of the game, they just say, "Yeah, I understand."
Yeah.
Doesn't help us.
And then they start playing it, and Will loses for some reason that
He's gonna
doesn't.
be called a liar.
But
If
I
you
don't
get
know.
called a liar and you are a liar,
If I was
then
going to
you
call you a
lose the game.
liar, I feel like
Yeah.
I'd just do it instead of going on some long, rambly response.
But
But
if
then
you're
the
not
other
lying-
guy in the game
His dad, yeah.
intentionally threw the game.
Yeah.
Which is something.
Well, Davy Jones was gonna call Will a liar, which is, and if you are
New
lying,
question:
you
why
lose the
didn't
game.
Will call Davy Jones a liar?
Because he was telling the truth. As
Oh
you see from
shit,
the
was
dice,
he? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he went 5 5s, and then it went back around, and he upped it to
Mhm.
7. Will upped it to 8. You're right. My bad. Because I, for whatever reason, thought it was 6, and then there was the
And
chance.
that's why his
but
dad
yeah.
went like 12 because that's impossible. So
Well, it's not.
like a mathematical
Impossible.
impossibility.
No.
A mathematical impossibility.
No.
It's like 0.00000.
If it can happen, it's not impossible. Impossible means it cannot happen.
Hey, geek, the sun could explode right now.
Yeah, we wouldn't
It's
know
a
for 8
mathemati-
minutes though.
Yeah, but it's mathematically improbable. Sorry. I should say
Improbable
not-
and impossible are two different fucking
I should
words.
say improbable.
douchebag.
I should say improbable. I apologize. I've been having a really hard time with my words lately, where I say the word that's a little more
Lately.
exaggeratory. Yeah, no, I don't know how to talk. I've been exaggerating more to where the word is too exaggeratory, and I need to lower it and reword myself. You cock. Yeah, you got a
Oh,
cock shirt over there. I know you do.
Ignore you. Apparently, the Kraken was difficult to animate because it had no real life reference until animation director Hal T. Hickle Interesting name. Instructed the crew to watch King Kong vs. Godzilla from 1963 because a real octopus was crawling over miniatures, and that would give them a reference on how to animate.
True. I mean, we have giant squids actually. We just don't know how they work because we've seen them.
I
like,
don't
4
know
times.
if we had. When did we see our first giant squid?
Oh, it's a great question.
Like, actually.
Yeah.
Because, I
Like,
mean, the entire
theories.
Kraken is like somebody saw a giant squid once. That's what happened.
Well, the giant squids that we we first saw it in 1873.
I don't buy that.
1924. Okay, there's a difference between a giant squid and a colossal squid. A colossal squid was 1925 that we found like through a whale's stomach,
Gotcha.
not from like actually seeing it. In 2004, we actually saw.
What fucks me up though is you can tell that's the at least to me the Kraken in the movie is way more based off an octopus than a squid.
Yeah, because the model after an octopus, as you just said.
Right. But you were just bringing up that, well, we have giant squid in real life. Well, none that are that big, first of all. None of these giant squid can swallow a fucking ship. Or probably
that's the
a
closest
man.
thing to a Kraken that we have seen.
That's probably,
So,
but yeah.
or the inspiration behind the Kraken.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I always said the giant squid or colossal squid, whatever we call it.
Wow.
Oh, this guy.
What are you mad at me for?
This guy.
Oh, and yeah, stop saying you hate them for making Elizabeth and Jack a thing. Apparently, like, most of that was just Keira Knightley suggesting things, which is odd.
Did Keira Knightley want to make out with Johnny Depp?
I guess. Probably not. I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, Stellan Skarsgård's makeup took 4 hours to apply.
Yeah, they actually get a starfish and put it on his face.
I could believe it.
Which I think is really funny that they put a starfish on his face, because starfish are living beings, not like a coral. Well, I guess coral is technically living too, but like a tree type. That's like a tree type living, not like a starfish, which is actually a living animal.
Who cares?
I do, because starfish actually move.
So? How do you think it got on his face?
The curse?
No, it just crawled there, man. Duh. Duh, dummy.
That's me.
You're dumb.
It says you. Yes.
Gore Verbinski wanted to keep the Flying Dutchman crew realistic.
So if you're a giant shark head person?
Rejecting a character with a turtle shell.
He just hates turtles, man. Don't tell Miller.
Man, what the fuck?
I do like the usage of Davy Jones' heart in the chest. Because like I love the idea before we see it, we're all like thinking that's like a metaphorical heart, that it's like kind of like a Voldemort type thing where it's kind of just like his like love thing, but it's actually a fucking heart, which is creepy as hell. But also that like there's this Achilles heel to him, and they gain access to it pretty easily. I mean, they find the fucking chest and they grab the key like within like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And like that whole like, you know, passing back and forth between the heart and everything like that is super like enticing. It gets you at the edge of your seat. And also fuck Norrington, first of all. But fucking just took the heart.
Wouldn't you?
No, I would be really concerned about what I would feel like with that much power in my hand. So.
And you take the heart.
No,
You just have that look about you.
Now I don't want that much power, my guy. I'm really
Oh,
okay.
see, you'd take the heart and go give it to Beckett because you're just a bitch like that.
No, I'd
Yeah,
probably just toss it in the seat without the chest.
that's dumb
Why?
because that wouldn't do anything.
But imagine like a random shark becoming the captain of the
Except
Flying
I
Dutchman.
don't think that's how that would work because you have to cut
That's
out your
literally
own
how it
heart.
works.
No, you have to cut out your heart or have it cut out for you. But
Yeah, as I say.
are you going to go watch for whatever eats the heart so you can cut out their heart?
I'm not part of the crew.
I don't think that part is specified because you're
Really
allowed to
is.
cut out. No, it's not. Just because Bill is the one who decides to do it. Again, we're skipping movies now. Jackass. Just because Bill's the one who decides to do it, I don't think that means it had to be part of the crew. Somebody just had to cut it out. And Will, I don't know if you noticed this at the time, was not in the best state to be able to cut out his own heart. We'll get to it in the next episode, but I'm just going to say Will's a little bitch for that, by the way. You aren't dying from that. Nothing important got hit. You got a knife through the collarbone. That does nothing. Stand up, you pussy. Oh my God. Jesus, how can you be this bad? Useless.
I've also come to the consensus that swashbuckling supernatural adventures are inherently bisexual.
Are you I don't know. Maybe.
This and the Mummy have been confirmed to me that biopanic definitely does exist within these movies.
See, but I don't think it's the movies themselves. I don't know who caused it for the Mummy, but like all of this is purposeful from Johnny Depp. He wanted to cause
I'm not even talking
this.
about Johnny Depp. I'm not even talking about Johnny Depp, dude.
No, but I think Johnny Depp acting that way made everybody else act that way, and that's just how it works.
Oh, you think it's just like a domino effect of gay pirate turns into
Well,
everyone
yeah,
else's?
Because I have a feeling more people are like you when we play D&D than you realize. You try to do the accent, but you can't figure out how to do it until I do it. So everybody's trying to figure out how to play a pirate, but they can't do it until Johnny Depp does it. So then they all kind of play him just a little gay.
Well, it's not even that. I think the costume design leans into it because a lot of the men are flamboyantly dressed. Like Will has his chest out half the time, so does Johnny Depp's a little more like
That's just
that's
how.
more of it.
I don't think that's just a then thing. That's just an always thing. Dudes just do that, and it's weird.
Yeah, but I'm saying that he's more flamboyantly dressed, and then you have like Elizabeth who's dressed like a man for half the fucking movie, first of all, and then all she does from there is just put her hair down. What?
I don't really think Elizabeth's dressed that differently than anyone except for Will.
And I mean, I don't know. Well, most of the people in this movie are fucking men, so like not
right,
fucking
but
men, they're men.
But like, not that many of them are showing that much of their skin, except for Will.
Well, who's flamboyantly dressed? So that's what I'm saying is that those two are the spectrum here, and the woman dressing more like a man than
But
the
Jack doesn't dress very flamboyant at all, actually.
but he acts flamboyantly.
Well, now we're
He
moving
is flamboyant.
goalposts again.
I'll move the goalposts where they're properly supposed to be at 110 yards on the end of both at the end, at both ends
Get
of the field.
out.
Okay.
Get out.
No.
I
think
didn't
we
know
talked-
Will Turner did the "I can do this all day" line. Bro thinks he's Captain America.
I mean, wouldn't you trust Legolas?
No.
No, you don't trust Legolas. Do you not trust William Turner either?
No.
Wow.
He's kind of an idiot.
Okay. It's also the 1600s Caribbean where there's no education, and he was a blacksmith before this. There's no education. He's gonna be dumb.
Why is Jack not dumb?
He kind of is.
No.
Like I said, he's got the plot armor to back him up.
Oh my god.
He does. Also, what the fuck up is up with Beckett?
What the
He's
fuck
like-
up? Yeah.
Yeah, like we have Norrington, who's already there. So why do we have the replacement? Like I get why in the third movie, but like in this movie, they just replace Norrington with this new dude, and Norrington's still in the movie. So it's like, why?
Right. What is Norrington in this movie?
A drunk?
Yeah, why? Let's see if
he
you
got
can finally
replaced.
put together the fucking plot here, dumb bitch.
No, I know the plot. I understand
Norrington
the plot.
lost his job and title because of Will and Elizabeth. That is a very important plot point for this movie and the next one. And no, you can't just leave Norrington there because then none of the other part of the movie works. I know you don't understand plot, but come on. Can we get a little plot, please? Is what I would be asking if you did that with Norrington, because he like weirdly is the driver for a lot of things. And you're just apparently not paying attention to that.
I just prefer Norrington as the antagonist.
Well, he still was the entire time.
Because he did the pirate thing to become a nobleman again.
I don't even mean that. From the very first second we see him, he like tries to fight Jack. Tries to kill him.
Everyone tries to fight Jack. Everyone wants to kill Jack. Even
Not
his own
true.
fucking...
Gibbs does not. Gibbs loves Jack.
That's true.
Haha.
Why does Gibbs love Jack so much? Like
No clue, but he does.
Like he's seen Jack do everything in his life. He's like, yeah, I'm still fucking
Because
with
he's
this
still.
dude.
I mean, literally everybody, at least as in that crew, has seen Jack do all this shit, and they're like, "Yeah, he's still a good dude, though." Like that guy.
William and Elizabeth don't trust that man with like an inch of their life.
This is untrue. I mean, I
In
get,
this movie, they do not trust his ass.
but
They
they
literally
do
send him to his death. They literally send him to his death.
because that's the only way to make sure that they don't die.
It's not the only way.
It doesn't matter if they trust him or not. It doesn't matter if they like him. It is the only way. Because if he gets on that little fucking dinghy with them, the Kraken's dragging all of them to the abyss, not just Jack.
And you go down with the ship.
Because the Kraken's not hunting Jack or the boat. It's hunting the mark. And the mark is on Jack.
Which is also on the boat. So anyway, it is hunting both.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Because the whole reason she locks him on the boat is because everybody else, including Will, was trying to figure out the plan to keep Jack alive.
Yeah.
But she knew if he got on the little thingy, they die.
Yeah.
So he didn't just... I don't understand your point entirely, but that's because it's so fucking stupid that no real person can understand your point. You can still trust Jack and also sentence him to die because you want to keep yourself alive, because that was the only way. Because if they take Jack with, they die. If they stay on the ship, they die. Those were the options. So you had three of them.
Yeah.
So why are you arguing that there was a different option?
It pissed you off.
Yeah, I hate you. It's impossible for people to be this dumb. It has to be.
You'd be surprised.
I fucking hope not.
No, but they don't really trust him. Every moment they get that, every opportunity that is offered to them to betray Jack, they're like, it's really tempting.
So they're pirates.
Exactly.
That has nothing to do with trusting him or not.
But Gibbs is also a pirate and trusts Jack.
No, there's a difference between trusting somebody and betraying them. That just means they shouldn't have trusted you. Jack shouldn't trust Will and Elizabeth. They trust Jack. He should not trust them. They have never had his best interest at heart, not one time.
He also sells. He literally sells Will to fucking Davy Jones.
He literally tried not to.
Yeah, but he's like, but I have this out here.
No.
Take the boy.
There is no other option at that exact moment.
He said 100 souls. He didn't sell Will.
No, he said, okay. Did you forget the line where he says, okay, give me Will back? And he says, no, that is one of the souls. Jack didn't have a choice there, you dumb motherfucker.
I did forget that line, yes.
Fucking Christ. Watch the movie. Holy shit.
It's also been a whole day and I watched a whole other movie that was 3 hours long. So
whose fault is that?
Yours, actually. You said, let's do both of them on Sunday.
Sure, but you would have watched another movie in between anyways. Because you always do.
I purposely made sure.
But you always do this. You'll go see a movie in between you watching the one we're going to talk about and us recording.
Uh-huh.
So
typically,
if you can't handle processing 2 movies, only watch the one we care about until we record. Maybe. And then stop allowing for double recordings. But this has happened once. The other thing happens every other time. So shut the fuck up. You don't get to blame me because you're an idiot. That's not how this works.
I get to blame you because I want to.
No, and apparently the cops are coming after you.
Damn, Denver police coming for me in Chicago is crazy. There's some jurisdiction broken there, I think.
Nah, it's okay. It's legal. Because I said so, I guess.
I mean, in this country currently, yeah. It's more what I said, so it's now it's legal type situation.
Fair enough. I don't know, man. Did this movie have a lower budget than the other one? $225 million. What was the Curse of the Black Pearl?
That's more than Black Pearl, I think. I think Black Pearl was 180.
You might be right. I just don't remember. Oh, Black Pearl was only 140.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I undershot that.
This movie did make an extra like $500 million compared to Curse of the Black Pearl, though.
Yeah, you got 3 years to build up, hype and word of mouth and everything like that, man. Of course. Who wouldn't?
I don't know. You probably.
And you show off the tentacles. Everyone loves the tentacles, so they're gonna come and see the tentacles.
Oh. I sure hope that's not true.
You don't like tentacles? A lot of people like tentacles, Geek. It's a big thing.
I know. Why do you think I looked so disgusted? I wouldn't be disgusted if it wasn't.
Like tentacles?
That's true. I wouldn't be disgusted if it wasn't tentacles.
Yeah. But there's also a cool shark dude and a crab oyster. Would there be a crab? Is that a crab?
I think so, yeah. Because he like hermit crabs himself later.
Oh yeah, but like when I think of crab, I think of the pincers and go like the two do, not the have a shell type thing.
Well, all crabs have shells. You have to break through them to eat it.
Yeah, I don't eat crab.
What?
I don't eat the seafood.
What's wrong with you?
I don't like the way it smells, how hard it is, or how not hard it is. I require a certain amount of texture in my food that seafood does not offer. But like, there's many options here. You got the hermit crab dude, you got the shark dude, you have man, they really just went for a core for a lot of these guys, didn't they?
Yeah, apparently, because Bozo McBozo's son didn't believe in going too unrealistic.
Yeah.
Except for the shark dude.
And the octopus main character in this
Yeah.
movie.
Well, no, that's realistic. If you sit in water long enough, you'll grow tentacles out of your chin. That is how that works. The back of your head will become weirdly bulbous.
Because he's a squid. I wanted Jack when he walked behind him to poke it though, because that felt like it's such a Jack thing to do, just to poke it.
Right?
But no, the one thing Johnny Depp didn't do was poke the
You know
bulbous
why?
squid.
Because when he was
'Cause it's
walking
Jack.
around him, there wasn't a bulbous thing there to poke.
Nah, he's too realistic. That actually existed. They actually
Bro,
cast a dude that
imagine.
was a squid.
No, imagine they just made a guy put a squid, like an octopus, on his head.
Oh,
That would have been incredible. I would have. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
This was certainly a movie.
I think this is the best of the two movies we watched so far.
Why?
Why? I don't know. I had a lot more fun with it. I like the CGI better, and I think Davy Jones is a lot more scary of a character in this movie. Next movie kind of becomes a cuck.
No.
Yeah.
No. I really
Yeah.
think you got to stop using words that you don't know the meanings of.
Cuck. I know the word meaning of cuck. I'm not going to explain it right now.
I'm not going to explain it right now. I need time to Google.
No, I need time not on camera. When we're
Oh, so you're willing to say the word on camera constantly, but you're afraid to
Yes.
explain it on camera. But by
Okay,
the definition that you're afraid,
cuck.
no, wait, but no, stop. By the definition that you're afraid to explain, he's not.
Yeah.
So you've changed the definition, just like Johnny Depp did with debt earlier. Boom, full circle. I win. End the episode right there. Thank you. Do the thing.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Dueling Fans podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, do whatever. I'll podcast you for what you prefer. Next week we cover At World's End. Let us know what you thought about this movie, and bye-bye.